the Secretary of the Navy, Ray Maybus, with us. And welcome to Minnesota. I'm assuming you've been here many times before.
I have.
And the ceremony before the game today, dedicating and naming a ship, the Minneapolis St. Paul. Tell us how that process all started.
Well, I get to name all Navy ships.
You do,
which is a pretty cool thing, but it's a pretty big responsibility too, because I get a lot more suggestions than I do than I have ships.
My first question for you is, do you have to run that by anybody? Is there a subcommittee that helps you vote on that, or do you solely get to do it yourself?
No, it's me.
That's awesome.
I have to notify Congress 30 days before the name is official.
So you could, if you wanted to, name a ship Blackjack Morris.
How'd you find out?
Yeah. Is that the next one?
Well, you've got to be a baseball fan to some degree, because I'm told, and I don't know if this is accurate, and that's why I'm asking the question, that a ship in the future is going to be called a Cooperstown.
No, I named the Cooperstown at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
You did, so it's already
you
in the
could have
process.
won. You could have won points here, because we got a Cooperstown in North Dakota. You could have said that it was named after one of the most beautiful towns in North Dakota.
Well, it's named after both.
There you go. There you go. Well,
there's been a great connection between Major League Baseball and the Navy and the Marine Corps.
What does this ship that we just saw, what does it do?
It's our newest type ship. It's called a littoral combat ship. It's 380 feet long. It's very fast, very shallow draft. It's modular, so you can move weapon systems on and off of it. We're going to build 52 of these. This is number 21.
Okay.
That I just named.
2-2 to Cabrera, and a pitch flip foul over the White Sox dugout.
So he can get places nobody else can get. It does anti-submarine, it does counter surface, and it does counter mine warfare.
What was there a campaign to name the ship Minneapolis St. Paul, or how did that come to be?
You know, I look at places that have not had a ship named for them in a while, and we've only had one other Minneapolis St. Paul.
Okay.
That was during World War II.
One down, Cabrera flying out to Shane Robinson.
We've got a USS Minnesota in the fleet now.
Right.
Submarine. And I try to do places that have shown patriotism, have shown a lot of people joining the military, have shown a lot of support for our active duty and our veterans. And Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Minnesota meet all those criteria.
Well, trying to look at it objectively, and I'm sure you saw it here earlier today, I think the Twins do the best treatment in Major League Baseball for honoring veterans of all the armed services with the honorary flag raiser that we have before every game here. And it's really, really touching to see not just the serviceman or woman, but the family members cradling the flag while they're being introduced. It's a very touching moment.
Well, you know, I call the Navy and Marine Corps America's away team, because we never get a home game.
Keep it that way, will you?
Well, and this is one of the few ways we get to connect with the American people, because they don't get to see sailors and Marines much, because when we're doing our job, we're a long, long way from home.
Swing and a miss, 2-1 to Avisail Garcia.
This new ship, how many members will be on deck?
You know, it's a big ship, but it's only got about 100 sailors that run the whole thing.
I was just trying to figure out if there's any chance that somebody here from Minnesota, St. Paul, or Minneapolis could possibly be a member of that crew.
Oh, absolutely. And this ship will be in the fleet for decades. It'll come in about 2018. And so there are sailors who are going to be on that ship that haven't been born yet.
Yeah. How long life expectancy without any disaster, let's call it?
35 to 40 years.
Is that right?
Yeah, we build things that last a long,
I'm curious,
long time.
When you say it's a fast ship, what are we talking speed-wise?
We're talking about 40 to 45 knots, which is
huge for a piece of equipment that
that's
big.
like 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Buxton with a nice adjustment as he was tracking that line drive. It looked like it was going to slice over his head, but he stayed with it. Out number 2. Another real reason Jack wanted to ask about the speed is wondering whether there was, he could throttle it down to trolling speed for fishing purposes.
Yeah, and I was wondering if the deck that you could probably put a lot of equipment on can be used as a casting platform also.
Well, I don't know if we can fish, but we can water ski behind it.
Oh, yeah. Could you imagine the wake?
We are visiting with the Secretary of the Navy, Ray Maybus, who was in town here today before the game ceremony, officially naming one of the newest members of the Navy fleet, the Minneapolis St. Paul. Now, is it USS Minneapolis St. Paul? That's the full name?
That's
okay.
Full name.
Adam LaRoche, the batter, struck out his first time up, and he pops up. Not many people there on the left side of the infield, and Robinson comes in, and the ball will drop for a base hit. Twins had the pull shift on for LaRoche, and he hit it in front of Robinson. And Escobar, who was playing on the other side of second base, couldn't get there in time.
See the pitch right here. The ball up in the zone a little bit. LaRoche didn't really know where the ball was, but he finally starts taking off. You can see how far Eduardo Escobar has to come to try to get to that ball, and just ran out of the room.
A 2-out pop fly single for LaRoche, and that'll bring up Alexei Ramirez. So, are you a baseball fan?
I'm a big baseball fan.
All right. Do you have an allegiance to a particular team?
You know, I'm a Red Sox fan.
Okay.
We're gonna pray for you.
Oh, I don't think that's going to work this year.
Not this year.
Now, why the Red Sox?
I went to school there, and I was there for the '75 series.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Against the Reds, and
now in Boston or actually at Fenway Park?
I was actually at Fenway for the first 2 games of that series.
No one even remembers that they were played. Everybody remembers Game 6.
That's right.
That kicks away from Herman, and LaRoche will go to second.
I got to watch Bill Lee pitch, and I got to watch Louis Tiant pitch. And I just didn't know when I became a Red Sox fan, because I'd grown up a Cardinals fan in Mississippi.
Okay.
That there was so much pain involved.
Well, that pain's been mitigated 3 times over the last few years with some World Series titles.
It has.
Shifted to the city of Chicago on the north side.
You're right.
1-1 to Alexei Ramirez with a runner in scoring position and 2 out. And up and in, 2-1.
But as I said, this is one of the ways we get to connect to the American people, and so this is my 27th ballpark, Major League ballpark, that I've been to.
Okay.
I swear people in before games. I name ships, and it's to make that connection, that partnership between the 99.5% of Americans who do not serve with the people who are protecting them every day.
2-1 to Alexei Ramirez. Pulled foul.
Of those 27 parks, do you have a favorite?
Oh, absolutely. Target Field.
Now, is that just being politically correct, or do you really mean that?
I absolutely mean it today.
Yeah. All right. We'll
now
go
this
with
is
that.
this is a beautiful, beautiful facility.
We think it is.
It's one of the prettiest parks in the major.
It's finally becoming a hometown home field advantage for our hometown team.
If I've got time, Bob Feller, when he was pitching for the Indians, enlisted in the Navy the day after Pearl Harbor.
And Bob from the state of Iowa.
And he fought for 4 years, got 9 battle stars on the USS Alabama. And when he was asked at his Hall of Fame induction what was his most memorable victory out of the 260 some odd games he won, he said World War II.
Yeah. 3-2 to Ramirez.
Certainly a proud member of the service. We've both of us have heard a lot of his stories over the years, that's for sure.
Well, 10% of the Hall of Fame served in World War II.
Ted Williams served both World War II and in the Korean conflict.
So did Jerry Coleman.
Jerry Coleman, you're right. On the ground, and that'll bleed through for a base hit. So the pop fly single and the wild pitch eventually leads to a second Chicago run. Not hit particularly well, but Ramirez with a 2-out single, and it's 4-2. And it'll bring up Giovanni Soto. Again, a pitch down and out of the strike zone, but Ramirez finding a hole in the infield. What overall goals do you have for the Navy moving forward?
Well, we're building ships. We are growing the fleet. On 9/11, we had 316 ships. By 2008, we were down to 278 after one of the great military buildups in our history. In the 5 years before I became secretary, we put 27 ships under contract. My first 5 years, we put 70 ships under contract. We're going to get above 300 ships.
I imagine you're on at least some kind of committee that decides what type of ship is being constructed, and can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, you have to have a balanced fleet, so we're building 10 submarines in the next 5 years. We're building 10 destroyers in the next 5 years. We got 2 aircraft carriers under construction right now. As I said, we're building 52 of these littoral combat ships.
Secretary of the Navy Ray Maybus, we appreciate the visit, and
thank you so much.
As of 11:30 this morning,
Great. Appreciate it.
there is a USS Minneapolis St. Paul.